I know you know this shit is cringe. No matter how much you agree with his politics, there is no way you also agree with this crap. There's no way. If you feel like you can't criticize that, you might want to unpack that. This person starts with a question, right? Questions are fine. Is Ethan Klein admitting he spends, and this person has like 15,000 followers, I believe. 15,000 followers. And they've already blocked me. They've already blocked me from this. These people cannot handle any kind of critical thinking and questioning. Is Ethan Klein admitting he spends at least $20,000 a month to get ChatGPT written AI blogs about him? Meanwhile, the only mention of Ethan in the New York Times is about him getting banned from the metaverse for being as sexually explicit as possible while surrounded by kids. This is Ethan's story. Hasan doesn't matter how many puff pieces you buy. He for sure spends at least $20,000 a month on PR based on my experience. Now, do you read that and think, that means Ethan Klein is spending $20,000 a month on puff pieces? Or do you think maybe he's had PR companies try to work with him before and has seen a lot of like statements of work, right? Like they has seen plans put together about what a monthly cost would be for a great PR agency? Like, I don't fully understand the logic there, besides like you just fucking hate Ethan, right? So this person asks this question, right? After this, so this was what time? 1:07 p.m. They don't seem to get an answer, so they post this 4 hours later. Ethan Klein has been paying the Times of India to write positive articles about himself and negative articles about Hasan Piker. Just fully confident now. Has gone from asking the question down here, retweets it and being like, it's confirmed. It's confirmed that Ethan is paying the Times of India to write puff pieces about him. Because it found this article, Times of India, this article, which doesn't mention Ethan at all, but it's about Hasan and LOL Overruled, mostly about LOL Overruled. This is a clip, I mean, Daddy's watching, this is from his clip in mid-July about the new round of lawsuits, including Noah Sampson, I believe. Three, and one of them does not even include Ethan anywhere in the title, which if you were writing puff pieces is terrible for SEO. Okay? If it's not in the title, you're not going to show up in search, at least not very easily. Okay? So I was like, what's happening here? Because as someone who writes marketing content, specifically SEO content, I will tell you right now, the Times of India is like the top of literally every search, especially in entertainment stuff. Yeah, this is dog shit. Thank you, Evie. So I mean, Times of India is like dominating SEO, at least when I look into stuff like entertainment things and other stuff. So they have what I imagine is a pretty serious SEO writing engine. Either they're probably definitely using AI, right? But they probably have a team that is constantly scraping Google information to find out what is being searched, right? Like what is in high demand, what people are Googling, right? That's information you can get from like Google Search Console and other SEO tools, right? You can find out what is being highly searched in a day. And then AI can poop out a new article and you slam it on the website, and then you get more SEO traction, right? That is how SEO works. So I was like, oh, it's the Times of India. They write about everything. Anytime I've looked up a YouTuber, the first several articles are from the Times of India. they're doing very well in that field, right? So I was like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way that Hasan doesn't have articles written about him. Like, there's no way that the Times of India is favoring Ethan because he's paying him $20,000 a month. And guess what? Did he delete my comment? They deleted my comment. They deleted my fucking comment. Wowie. Because I said, so are you... Here, let's just do this. I said, so are you presuming to say that all of these articles written by the Times of India about Hasan, you see all of these? See them all? That he paid for these? Are you saying that he paid for all of these puff pieces? Is that what you're asserting? I mean, like just about 2, maybe 3 pages of search, and the majority of them are Times of India. I mean, their output is crazy. And that's what I put. I shared a bunch of the screenshots of the titles, and they fucking deleted my proof and blocked me. Gotta protect the echo chamber. Yeah, that's what's wild is like some of these people, anytime you ask a question, block. Which is similar to what happens like with the snark subreddits, right? I just think that's crazy. And like the fact that right now, I mean, Taylor Lorenz was saying, oh, Ethan, you're such a fucking pussy. Get on Twitter and say it to my face. Taylor Lorenz, you can't reply to her posts. And now she also forbids you from retweeting her. So how exactly is anyone supposed to interface with you, Taylor? You're just going to call them a pussy and then they get to Twitter and they can't actually interface with you at all? They have to like screenshot your posts? Like, what are we talking about? These are the brave faces of the revolution? Like, I fucking hope not. Destiny runs the Times of India, right? So yeah, I would say that's like the other end of the spectrum where they just are not interested in listening at all, and that's fine because I don't want to waste my time, essentially. All right, let's talk about, speaking of Hasan, look at this segue. Look at this natural segue we have. So speaking of weird puff pieces, and I think it's so funny because people are like, it's laughable. It's laughable that Hasan paid to have himself in NPR, right? Out of one side of their mouth. And then in the other side of the mouth, it's Ethan's paying $20,000 for puff pieces to be written about him. The truth is, there's a price for anything. And a huge role of PR agencies is to get exclusive stories placed in big publications. That is literally their job. They are hired because of their connections with people at news outlets, right? Like, it's not news. This is what PR agencies do. They aren't just called in to like do damage control. A huge portion of their job is finding hospitable, charitable homes for exclusive stories from the company, which are basically puff pieces. Is that even Hasan? Yeah, he looks very strange in this. So yeah, the title is just frying me. A himbo gateway drug for progressives? I am so grateful that I am outside of whatever weird cult of personality is happening around Hasan. Being able to see this and being able to just be like, that is fucking cringe. Because I know these motherfuckers know it's cringe. I know you know it. I know you know this shit is cringe. No matter how much you agree with his politics, there is no way you also agree with this crap. There's no way. If you feel like you can't criticize that, might want to unpack that. So he did this interview, whatever. Again, talking about like, oh, I'm the male savior of the left, and I'm like helping get little baby neo-Nazis to become leftist extremists, I guess. I will say the results for Mr. Piker have been mixed. They have been mixed. So here's the actual YouTube video. Give it a watch sometime and tell them what you feel about it after you watch it. Let's just skim. I'm assuming these are top comments. FYI, this guy said people who supported capitalism should be put into re-education camps, and that freedom of speech should be banned after communism is installed in the U.S. government. Why was there zero pushback on this or any of his other horrible, violent beliefs? Not sure that promoting 10 toes down with the Houthis is going to yield great results, to be honest. Bro promotes terrorist propaganda on the regular. Bro needs to be on a watch list. So are we doing zero research before platforming people? Yes, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what they're doing. They're doing zero research. It's confirmation bias, and they're not doing any like oppositional research, right? This is just like puff pieces. Like, I won't be surprised if whoever interviewed him, Brittany Luz, I think her name is, she's probably friends with him, you know? Absolutely shameful that you're platforming this person without any pushback on his disgusting views. Letting him claim that he is a regular social democrat, we'll talk more about that, is an insult to journalism. Social democrat. You've heard that term before because that's what Ethan Klein considers himself, right? Ethan Klein, with whom Hasan now asserts he has nothing in common. That Ethan is just like this horrible right-wing Nazi. So it's kind of crazy that they share the same political views, right? Let's see what else we got. My favorite streamer who definitely didn't endorse Hamas, Hezbollah, and other civilian murdering terrorist organizations. My Gucci-wearing, Porsche-driving, multi-million-dollar home-owning socialist king. And I just love that Hasan read all of these. Oh, and there's proof. Hasan told people to brigade the comments. NPR, Stochastic Terrorist Edition. Piker Broadcasting Service finally meets the real PBS. So yeah, that's those. Let's see what newest, because he did tell them to brigade. I believe it's here. Yeah, so of course he watched this to auto-fellate in front of his fans about this, and he is butthurt about the comment section.
The Americans, as a matter of fact, for example, have
comment sections are bullshit self-care. Oh no, they're being heavily brigaded, which of course
everything's a conspiracy. No one actually hates me. It's all like a very coordinated psyop. I'm actually really well liked, and this is actually just like a coordinated attack against me because I am the most important thing in this movement. And so all of these different communities like Sex Pestiny and Ethan Nazi Klein are brigading the comments.
obviously it is.
Or you just are not liked. Also, I'm realizing he kind of sounds like Jojo Siwa, at least when I do him. Like, maybe you're just being criticized. Maybe it's not some huge conspiracy. Like, why can't you just laugh it off? Why can't you just say, yeah, you know, guys. You know the stuff I say isn't always popular. Fuck them, right? Why can't you just say that? Why does it have to be, it's actually being brigaded? The comment section is actually being brigaded on it. Because I'm like I'm a threat to liberalism. I'm a threat to the status quo. Like, why is that? The copium is crazy, and I hate that term, but that's like the cope in this is just insane. Yeah, this is definitely astroturfed. This is definitely astroturfed, guys. People actually really love me. Anyway, go brigade the video, which I just complained about.
As a matter of fact, for example, have
comment sections are bullshit self-care. Oh no, they're being heavily brigaded. Which, of course, obviously, it is upon you, chatters, to go fucking seize control over the narrative.
Like, he's saying that sarcastically, right? Like, he's saying it ironically, but I feel like there's a lot of truth in that, right, guys? He's such a delusional asshole, yeah. This happens every fucking time, yeah. And, like, listen, every time he thinks he's being brigaded, yeah, that's, like, insane. Listen, if I did an interview, which I'm sure I never will, right? Because I'm not trying to be like Hasan. If I did an interview, I'd be like, yeah, go check it out. I would promote it, but I wouldn't be like, you need to go fight my battles in the comments. Even like as a joke, especially because he knows, again, this is his plausible deniability, keeping his hands clean. He knows that he can say something and make it sound like it's in jest, but the lunatics who follow him, not saying all of them are, will take it seriously, right? It's all like this. It's like reading between the lines, right? It's like this like subliminal messaging almost. Could seize control of the narrative. Obviously, I was joking when I said that.
And show support to NPR, which is unfortunately in a dire state and needs the support,
Wait,
which
hang
is
on.
unfortunately over the narrative. And show support to NPR, which is unfortunately in a dire state and needs the support.
I would bet $1 zillion that he has talked a lot of shit on NPR. Right? I feel like he has definitely talked shit on NPR a lot. Like as some fucking liberal rag, you know? And now all of a sudden that they're platforming him, he's like, please support them. Notice he didn't say who is targeting them. Donald Trump, right? He can't somehow blame that on the Democrats. So he doesn't mention why they're in dire straits, why they need support. Oh, it's because Donald Trump is taking away their funding. But actually, Biden somehow started that, and he's just following it. Trump is just following it to the logical conclusion, because honestly, everything terrible starts with the Democrats. Yeah, NPR, those lib cucks. Like, oh my God. I mean, I could try and find something right now, but I'm sure it'll all just be NPR Hasan. Because of SEO, you can't find shit. Chat GPT might be able to find shit, though. Has Hasan Piker criticized NPR in the past? Searching the web. Yes, Hasan Piker has criticized NPR in the past, particularly as part of his broader critiques of mainstream media. Reddit users and other commentators have noticed. I like that. I feel like this is new for ChatGPT. They're saying like what the sources are, but maybe it's not new. I just don't use it very much. Reddit users and other commentators have noted that Hasan often sarcastically lumps NPR in with what he sees as an uncritical insider media. Apparently, he called NPR a mouthpiece for the State Department. This distrust of the media, NPR is like one of the gold standards of like establishment media. These reflect sentiment that Hasan treats NPR as emblematic of the establishment media he frequently critiques. Strategic portrayal of media bias. Some observers on Reddit have accused him of intentionally misrepresenting or cherry-picking mainstream media coverage like NPR's to portray it as ideologically biased or unfair in his commentary. Meanwhile, he loves ideologically biased commentary. He loves ideologically biased news, right? If it serves him. There's no widely reported instance where Hasan has had a direct formal conflict with NPR. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that he like poisons the well against NPR. I'm sure under Biden, he was shitting all over them. Knew it. I fucking knew it. ChatGPT is chimp clipping. All right, so that's Hasan's response. And then let's go with Lonerbox. Lonerbox had something to say about Hasan being dishonest in his interview. And this reminded me of when Ethan, guys, we have so much more. If you guys are tired, I mean, I'm probably going to go for another hour because after this, we have to talk about Jacob Berger and I have so many clips, not clips, but like links. So might like take a break after this. I need to get some water and get a little snack and then we'll come back to it. Hi, Cheyenne. Okay, so what this reminded me of, this Lonerbox piece, is the clip in the content nuke, which I thought was probably the most troubling when he talks about like his method of like hiding his power level, right? Ethan's content nuke. Oh, here we go. I don't know where it is, but there's a moment in the content nuke. If someone has the clip, that would be great, but I don't know where it is, where he's like on some podcast and he's bragging about the fact that he